Diffusion and decline of the Harappan civilization. So after reading this unit, you will get to know about the problems faced by scholars to understand the decline of the Harappan civilization, about the theories put forward for the decline of Harappa, that why over the years scholars have stopped looking for the causes of decline of the Harappa, and that instead scholars are trying to look for the evidence of survival and continuities of the Harappan civilization. Introduction. In the previous units, we have discussed the various aspects of origin and growth of the Harappan civilization. However, the disappearance of the various aspects of its maturity, that is, writing, town planning, etc., in the subsequent phase of ancient India is rather mysterious. In this unit, we will examine the various arguments put forward to solve this mystery. Decline of Harappa, the archaeological evidence. Cities like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, and Kalibangan experienced gradual decline in the urban planning and construction. Houses made of old dilapidated bricks and shoddy construction encroached upon the roads and streets of the town. Flimsy partitions subdivided the courtyards of the houses. The cities were fast turning into slums. The detailed study of the architecture of the Mohenjo-daro shows that many entry points to the Great Bath were blocked. Sometimes later, the Great Bath and the granary fell into total disuse. At the same time, the late levels, that is, the late habitations at Mohenjo-daro, showed a distinct reduction in the number of sculptures, figurines, beds, bangles, and inlay works. Towards the end, the city of Mohenjo-daro shrank to a small settlement of 3 hectares from the original 85 hectares. Before its abandonment, Harappa seems to have witnessed the arrival of a group of people about whom we know through their burial practices. They were using a pottery which was different from those of the Harappans. Their culture is known as the cemetery etch culture. Processes of decline were in evidence also in places like Kalibangan and Channu-daro. We find the buildings associated with the power and ideology were decaying, and goods related to displays of prestige and splendor were becoming increasingly scarce. Later on, cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were abandoned altogether. A study of the settlement pattern of the Harappa and late Harappan sites in the Bahawalpur area also indicates a trend of decay. Along the banks of the Hakra river, the number of settlements came down to 50 in the late Harappan period from 174 in the mature Harappan period. What seems likely is that in the last 2 to 300 years of their life, the settlements in the core region of the Harappan civilization were declining. The population seems to have either perished or moved away to the other areas, whereas the number of sites in the triangles of Harappa, Bahawalpur, and Mohenjo-daro declined. The number of settlements in the outlying areas of Gujarat, East Punjab, Haryana, and Upper Doab increased. This indicates a phenomenal increase in the number of people in these areas. This sudden increase in the population of those regions can be explained by the emigration of people from the core regions of Harappa. In the outlying regions of the Harappan civilization, that is the areas of Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Punjab, people continue to live, but life has changed for them. Some of the important features associated with the Harappan civilization, writing, uniform weights, Harappan pottery, and architectural styles have disappeared. The abandonment of the cities of the Indus is roughly dated to about 1800 BC. This date is supported by the fact that the Mesopotamian literature stops referring to Meluha by the end of 1900 BC. However, even now, the chronology of the end of the Harappan cities remains tentative. We do not as yet know whether the major settlements were abandoned at one and the same or at different periods. What is certain, however, is the fact that the abandonment of the major cities and the deurbanization of some of other settlements indicates the decline of Harappan civilization. Theories of sudden decline. Scholars have given different answers to the questions as to why did the civilization end. Some scholars, believing in the dramatic collapse of the civilization, have looked for the evidences of a calamity of catastrophic proportions which wiped out the urban communities. Some of the more plausible theories for the decline of the Harappan civilization are that it was destroyed by massive floods, that the decline took place because of the shift in the course of the rivers and the gradual drying up of the Ghaggar-Hakra river system, that barbarian invaders destroyed the cities, that the growing demands of the centers disturbed the ecology of the region and areas could not support them anymore. Let us discuss these explanations on their merits. Floods and earthquakes. Among the causes spelled out of the decline of the Harappan civilization Scholars have used the evidence of flooding in Mohenjo-daro. It appears from the records of the principal excavators that in Mohenjo-daro various periods of occupation were separated by evidences of deep flooding. This can be inferred from the fact that the houses and streets of Mohenjo-daro were covered with silty clay and collapsed building material many times in its long history. This silty clay seems to have been left by the flood waters which had submerged the streets and houses. The people of Mohenjo-daro again built up houses and streets on top of the debris of the previous buildings after the floods had receded. This kind of catastrophic flooding and rebuilding on top of the debris seems to have happened at least thrice. Borings in the occupation deposits indicate successive phases of occupation levels spanning a vertical distances of 70 feet, which is equivalent to the height of a 7-storied building. Many occupation deposits were divided by silt deposits. Thick silt deposits have been noticed at points as high as 80 feet above the present day ground levels. Thus, many scholars believe that the evidences are indicative of abnormal floods in Mohenjo-daro. These floods led to the temporary desertion and reoccupation of the city throughout its history. That these floods were catastrophic is shown by silt deposits 80 feet above the present ground level, meaning that the flood waters rose to such height in that area. The Hadappans at Mohenjo-daro tired themselves out, trying to outtop the recurring floods. A stage came when the impoverished Hadappans could not take it anymore, and they simply abandoned the settlement. Rake's hypothesis. The theory of catastrophic flooding has been carried further by a famous hydrologist, R.L. Rakes. He argued that such flooding, which could drown buildings 30 feet above the ground level of the settlement, could not be a result of normal flooding in the river Indus. He believed that the Harappan civilization declined because of the catastrophic flooding, causing prolonged submergence of the cities located on the banks of the river Indus. He has shown that geomorphologically speaking, the Indus area is a disturbed seismic zone. Earthquakes might have raised the level of the floodplains of the lower Indus River. This uplift of the plain along an axis roughly at right angles to that of the river Indus blocked the passage of the river water to the sea. This led to the ponding of the waters of the river Indus. A lake was formed in the area where cities of the Indus had once flourished, and thus the rising water levels of the river swallowed cities like Mohenjo-daro. It has been pointed out that sites like Sutka Gendar and Sutka Koh on the Makran coast and Balakot near Karachi were seaports of the Hadappans. However, at present, they are located far away from the sea coast. This has happened because of the upliftment of the land on the sea coast, possibly caused by violent tectonic uplifts. Some scholars believe that these tectonic uplifts took place somewhere in the 2nd millennium BC. These violent earthquakes, damming rivers, and burning the towns destroyed the Harappan civilization. This led to the disruption of the commercial life based on the river and coastal communication. Criticism. This grand theory of the catastrophic fall of the Harappan civilization is not accepted by many scholars. H.T. Lambring points out that the idea that a river would be dammed in such a manner, even by tectonic uplifts, is incorrect due to two reasons. Even if an earthquake artificially raised a burned downstream, the large volume of water from the Indus would easily breach it. In recent times, in Sindh, a swell of the ground raised by the earthquake of 1819 was breached by the first flood. It faced from one of the smallest streams of the Indus called Nara. Silt deposition would parallel the rising surface of water in the hypothetical lake. It would take place along the bottom of the former course of the river. Thus, the silt of the Mohenjo-daro might not be the deposition of a flood. Another criticism of this theory is that it fails to explain the decline of the settlements outside the Indus system. The shifting away of the Indus. Lambring has offered his own explanation of the decline. He believes that changes in the course of the river Indus could be the cause of destruction of Mohenjo-daro. The Indus is an unstable river system which keeps shifting its bed. Apparently, the river Indus shifted about 30 miles away from Mohenjo-daro. The people of the city and the surrounding food production villages deserted the area because they were starved of water. This kind of thing happened many times in the history of Mohenjo-daro. The silt observed in the city is actually the product of the wind action blowing in lots of sand and silt. This combined with disintegrating mud brick and baked brick structures produced what has been mistaken for silt produced by floods. This theory too cannot explain the decline of the Harappan civilization in totality. At best, it can explain the desertion of Mohenjo-daro. And if the people of Mohenjo-daro were familiar with those kinds of shifts in the river course, why could not they themselves shift to some new settlement or establish another city like Mohenjo-daro? Obviously, it appears that some other factors were at work. Increased aridity and drying up of Khaggar. D.P. Agarwal and Sood have introduced a new theory for the decline of the Harappan civilization. They believe that the Harappan civilization declined because of the increasing aridity in this area and the drying up of the river Ghaggar Hakra. Basing their conclusions on the studies conducted in the USA, Australia and Rajasthan, they have shown that there was an increase in the arid conditions by the middle of the 2nd millennium BC. In semi-arid regions like those of the Harappa, even a minor reduction in moisture and water availability could spell disaster. It would affect agricultural production, which in turn would put the city economies under stress. They have discussed the problem of the unstable river system in western Rajasthan as stated earlier. The Ghaggar Hakra area represented one of the core regions of the Harappan civilization. The Ghaggar was a mighty stream flowing through Punjab, Rajasthan and the run of Kutch before debouching into the sea. River Satluj and Yamuna used to be the tributaries of this river. Because of some tectonic disturbances, the Satluj stream was captured by the Indus River and the Yamuna shifted east to join the Ganges. This kind of change in the river regime, which left the Ghaggar waterless, would have catastrophic implications for the towns located in this area. Apparently, the ecological disturbances brought by the increased aridity and the shift in the drainage pattern led to the decline of the Harappan civilization. Interesting though this theory is, it has some problems. The theory about the onset of arid conditions have not been fully worked out and one needs more information. Similarly, the drying up of the Ghaggar has not been dated properly as yet. Barbarian invasions. Wheeler believed that the Harappan civilization was destroyed by the Aryan invaders. It has been pointed out that in the late phases of occupations at Mohenjo-daro, there are evidences of a massacre. Human skeletons have been found lying on the streets. The Rig Veda time and again refers to the fortresses of the Dasas and Dasyus. The Vedic god Indra is called Purandara, meaning the destroyer of the forts. The geographical area of the habitation of the Rig Vedic Aryans include the Punjab and the Ghaggar Hakra region. Since there are no remains of other cultural groups having forts in this area in this historical phase, Wheeler believed that it was the Harappan cities that were being described in the Rig Veda. In fact, the Rig Veda mentions a place called Haryupia. This place was located on the bank of the river Ravi. The Aryans fought a battle here. The name of the place sounds very similar to that of Harappa. These evidences led Wheeler to conclude that it was the Aryan invaders who destroyed the cities of Harappa. Attractive though this theory is, it is not acceptable to a host of scholars. They point out that the provisional date for the decline of the Harappan civilization is believed to be 1800 BC. The Aryans, on the other hand, are believed to have arrived here not earlier than a period around 1500 BC. At the present state of knowledge, it is difficult to revise either of the dates, and so the Hadappans and the Aryans are unlikely to have met each other. Also, neither Mohenjo-daro nor Harappa yield any other evidence of a military assault. The evidence of the human bodies lying exposed in the streets is important. This, however, could have been caused by raids by bandits from the surrounding hilly tracts. In any case, the big cities were already in a state of decay. This cannot be explained by the invasion hypothesis. There is a chart, theories of decline, sudden catastrophic theories, floods and earthquake. ठीक है, तो फ्लड हुआ, एविडेंस क्या, ऑक्यूपेशन लेवल्स डिवाइडेड बाय सिल्ट डिपॉजिट्स, हाउसेज एंड स्ट्रीट्स कवर्ड बाय सिल्ट डिपॉजिट्स अप टू 30 feet अबव ग्राउंड लेवल, हाउसेज बिल्ट ऑन सिल्ट कवर्ड डेब्रिस. अर्थक्वेक, इसका एविडेंस क्या है, इंडस एरियाज डिस्टर्ब्ड, earthquake zone, earthquake raised the level of flood plains blocking passage of the river water to sea, forcing water into cities. Earthquake caused shift of land away from sea coast affecting commercial cities. Criticism, decline of settlements outside Indus Valley will not be explained by this theory. A river cannot be dammed by tectonic effects. Next time, Mohenjo-daro destroyed by shifting of the Indus River. Evidence, silt is there in Harappa because of the wind action which brought sand and silt. Sand silt not due to floods. Criticism, this can explain only desertion of Mohenjo-daro but not its decline. increased aridity led to decline. Evidence: middle of 2nd millennium BC, a period of increased arid conditions. In such a situation, a semi-arid region like Harappa would be affected. Most decline of the agriculture would result. Tectonic movement would affect river system like Ghopar, which would dry up. Criticism: not fully worked out. Drying up of river Ghaggar not dated yet. Barbarian or Aryan invasion destroyed Harappa. Evidence: human skeletons have been found lying on the streets. Rig Veda refers to the fortresses of Dasas, which god Purandara destroys. The geographical area of Rig Veda Aryans includes Punjab Ghaggar region. Vedas mention a place called Haryapiya on river Ravi, where Aryans fought a battle. Name similar to Harappa. Criticism: decline of Harappa around 1800 BC, whereas Aryans not earlier than 1500 BC. So Harappans and Aryans clash seems difficult to accept. Ecological imbalance. Scholars like Fair Service try to explain the decay of the Harappan civilization in terms of the problem of ecology. He computed the population of the Harappan cities and worked out that the food requirements of the townsmen. He also computed that the villagers in these areas consume about 80% of their produce, leaving about 20% for the market. If similar patterns of agriculture existed in the past, a city like Mohenjo-daro, having a population of about 35,000, would require very large number of villages producing food. According to Fair Service's calculation, the delicate ecological balance of these semi-arid areas was being disturbed because the human and cattle population in these areas was fast depleting the scanty forest, food and fuel resources. The combined needs of the Harappan townsmen, peasants and pastoralists exceeded the limited production capacities of these areas. Thus, a growing population of men and animals, confronted by scanty resources, wore out of the landscape. With the forest and grass cover gradually disappearing, there were more floods and droughts. This depletion of the subsistence base caused strain on the entire economy of the civilization. There seems to have been a gradual movement away to the areas which offered better subsistence possibilities. That is why the Harappan communities moved towards Gujarat and the eastern areas away from the Indus. Of all the theories discussed so far, Fair Services theory seems to be the most plausible one. Probably the gradual deterioration on their town planning and the living standards was a reflection of the depleting subsistence pattern of the Harappans. This process of decline was compelled by the raids and attacks of the surrounding communities. However, the theory of environmental disaster has also some problems. The enduring fertility of the soils of the Indian subcontinent over the subsequent millennia disproves the hypothesis of soil exhaustion in this area. Also, the computation of the needs of the Harappan population is based on the scanty information, and a lot more information would be needed to make a calculation of the subsistence needs of the Harappans. Thus, any theory based on such scanty information will remain a hypothesis unless substantiated by more evidence in its favor. The emergence of the Harappan civilization involved a delicate balance of relations between cities, towns and villages, rulers, peasants and nomads. It also means a fragile but important relationship with the communities of the neighboring areas who were in possession of minerals crucial for trade. Similarly, it meant maintenance of contact with the contemporary civilization and cultures. Apart from this, we have to take into account the ecological factors of relationship with nature. Any breakdown in these chains of relationships could lead to the decline of the cities. The tradition survives. Scholars working on the Indus civilization no longer look for the causes of its decline. This is because of the fact that the scholars who studied the Harappan civilization right up to the 1960s believed that the collapse of the civilization was sudden. These scholars concentrated their work on the studies of cities, town planning, and large structures. Such problems as the relationship of the Harappan cities with the contemporary villages and the continuity of various elements of the Harappan civilizations were ignored. Thus, the debate about the causes of the decline of the Harappan civilization became more and more abstract. It was towards the end of the 60s that scholars like Malik and Fauchel focused their attention on various aspects of continuity of the Harappan tradition. These studies have yielded more exciting results than the debate about the causes of the decline of the Harappan civilization. It is true that Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were abandoned and the urban phase came to an end. However, if we take a perspective covering the entire geographical spread of the Harappan civilization, quite a few things seem to continue in the old style. Archaeologically speaking, some changes are observable. Some of the settlements were abandoned, but most other settlements remained in occupation. However, the tradition of uniform writings, seals, weights, and pottery was lost. The objects showing intensive interaction among the far flung settlements were lost. In other words, the activities associated with city centered economies were given up. Thus, the changes that came about simply indicated the end of the urban phase. Small villages and towns continue to exist, and archaeological finds from these sites show many elements of the Harappan tradition. In most of the sites in Sindh, it is difficult to observe any change in the pottery tradition. In fact, in the areas of Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Haryana, vibrant agricultural communities emerged in large numbers in the succeeding period. Thus, from a regional perspective, the period succeeding the urban phase can be treated as one of the flourishing agricultural villages, as one of the flourishing agricultural villages which outnumber those of the urban phase. That is why scholars now discuss issues like cultural change, regional migrations, and modifications in the system of the settlement and subsistence. After all, no one talks about the end of the ancient Indian civilization in early medieval India when most of the cities of the Gangetic Valley declined. Let us see what kinds of archaeological remains survive after the end of the urban phase. Sindh. In Sindh, that is at the Harappan towns, Amri and Chanodaro, Jukkar, etc., people continue to live as of old. They were still staying in brick houses, but they gave up the planned layout. They were using a slightly different pottery called the Jukkar pottery. It was a buff ware with red slip with paintings in black. Recent studies suggested that this pottery evolved from the mature Harappan pottery and, as such, need not be considered something new. In Jukkar, certain distinctive metal objects have been found which might be indicative of trade links with Iran, or what is more likely, the influx of a migrant population having Iranian or Central Asian influences. A shaft hole, axes, and copper pins with looped or decorated heads have parallels in Iranian settlements. Circular stamp seals of stone or faience and a bronze cosmetic jar are also indicative of contacts with cultures to the west of the Indus. The Indo-Iranian borderlands. The areas to the west of the Indus, Baluchistan, and the Indo-Iranian border lands also show the presence of people using copper stamps, seals, and copper shaft hole axes. Sites like Shahi Tomb, Mundigak, Nausharo, and Pirak indicate movements of the people and contacts with Iran. Unfortunately, the dating of these settlements is still not clearly worked out. Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan. In the areas of Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan, several settlements have been reported where people continue to live in the same old way after the decline of the cities. However, the Harappan influences on the pottery tradition gradually declined, and the local pottery traditions, which were always present along with the Harappan pottery, gradually replaced the Harappan pottery altogether. Thus, the decline of urbanism was reflected in the reassertion of regional traditions in these areas. The sites of Mithil, Bara, Ropad, and Siswal are well known. Brick houses have been reported from Bada and Siswal. In many of these sites, ochre colored pottery has been found. This pottery underlay many early historical sites in ancient India. As such, these village cultures of Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan are linked with the Harappan tradition of the past and anticipate the early Indian tradition. In all, about 139 late in the upper Gangetic Valley, also many agricultural settlements were established. They show remote late Harappan influences. This area became the heartland of the subsequent phase of Indian civilization. Kutch and Saurashtra. In Kutch and Saurashtra, the end of the urban phase is clearly documented in places like Rangpur and Somnath. Even during the urban phase, they had a local ceramic tradition coexisting with the Harappan pottery. This tradition continued in later phases. Some sites like Rangpur seem to have become more prosperous in the succeeding period. They were using potteries called lustrous redware. However, the people stopped using the Indian Indus weights, scripts, and tools imported from the distant areas. Now they were using stone tools made of locally available stones. In the mature Harappan phase, there were 13 settlements in Gujarat. In the subsequent late Harappan, dated to about 2100 BC phase, the number of settlements went up to 200 or more. This increase in the number of settlements, indicating an increase in population, cannot be explained by biological factors. In pre-modern societies, the population could not increase so much in a space of a few generations. that 13 settlements could multiply into more than 200 or more settlements. Thus, there is a distinct possibility that people inhabiting these new settlements came from other areas. Late Harappan settlements have also been reported from Maharashtra, where their culture merged into those of the emerging agricultural communities. Transmission of the Harappan tradition. The end of the cities did not mean the end of the Harappan tradition. It is evident from our discussion that archaeologically speaking, the Harappan communities merged into the surrounding agricultural groups. However, the centralized decision making in the polity and economy had ended. The Harappan communities, which continued after the urban phase, would have definitely retained their older traditions. It is likely that the Harappan peasants would retain their forms of worship. The priests of the Harappan urban centers were part of a highly organized literate tradition. Even if literacy ended, they are likely to have preserved their religious practices. The dominant community of the subsequent early historic period called itself the Aryans. These peoples do not seem to have possessed a literate tradition. Possibly, the priestly groups of the Harappans merged into the ruling groups of the Aryans. As such, the Harappan religious traditions would be transmitted to the historical India. The full communities also retained the traditions of the craftsmanship as is evident from the pottery and tool making traditions. Once again, when illiterate urban centers emerged in early India, it absorbed elements of the folk cultures. This would provide a more effective channel of transmission of the Harappan traditions. Theories of decline, gradual decline theories. Decline due to ecological imbalance, evidence. Calculation that ecological balance in these semi-arid areas was being disturbed because the human and cattle population was depleting scarce forest, food and fuel resources. With the forest disappearing, there were more floods and droughts. Townsmen moved away to Gujarat and eastern areas. This process of decline compelled by raids and attacks of nearby settlements. Criticism. Soil continues to be fertile till today in this area. This proves soil exhaustion hypothesis. This disproves. Next, a calculation of needs of Harappan towns requires more information before this hypothesis is substantiated. The no decline or continuity hypothesis. The ecological argument has focused on the relationship between man and nature in Indus Valley. Problems in explaining decline has led to scholars to abandon the search for causes of decline. Look for continuities of Harappa in a geographical perspective, except that the cities declined and certain traditions like seals, writings, pottery were lost. What survives from Harappa? The cults of Pashupati, that is Shiva, and of the mother goddesses and phallic worship seem to have come down to us from the Harappan tradition. Similarly, the cult of sacred places, rivers or trees, and sacred animals show a distinct continuity in the subsequent historic civilizations of India. The evidence of fire worship and sacrifice in Kalibangan and Lothal is significant. These were the most significant elements of the Vedic regions. Could the Aryans have learnt these practices from the Harappan priesthood? This hypothesis would require more evidence, but it is not unlikely. Many aspects of domestic life, like the house plants, deposition of water supply, and attention to bathing, survived in the settlements of the subsequent periods. The traditional weights and currency system in India, based on a ratio of 16 as a unit, was already present in the Harappan civilization. It might well have been derived from them. The techniques of making potter's wheel in modern India are similar to those used by the Harappans. Bullock carts and boats used in modern India were already present in Harappan cities. As such, we can say that many elements of the Harappan civilization survived in the subsequent historical traditions. Now let us sum up. We have seen that the scholars have offered various theories of the sudden decline of the Harappa, but all these theories had to be given up because of the lack of adequate evidence. Gradually, scholars have given up looking for causes of decline of Harappa. Now the focus is on understanding the late phases of Harappa. This is looked into to expose the continuities of Harappa which might have survived in the flourishing agricultural communities of the time. And no doubt, there have been certain characteristics of Harappa which transcend down to the historic phase.